All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Millennial Sales Podcast, episode 196. This is your host, Tom Alemo. They call me Tommy Tahoe around here. Really excited for this episode. Thank you for listening. One quick thing that I'll get into, and then we'll talk about the guests and we'll get this thing rolling, is that I've spending a lot of time on this podcast the last 3.5 years. I really would appreciate if you head over to Apple and subscribe and leave a review, hopefully a 5-star review. If you did like this episode, you can find me on Apple and Spotify, Millennial Sales. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube as Tommy Tahoe. LinkedIn, Tom Alemo. I'd love if you hit me up, start a conversation. One of the main reasons I do this show is to give value to people and also to meet new people and learn from them. So I talk to BDRs, AEs, sales managers, CROs, CEOs, VPs of sales all the time that listen to the show. And it's one of the things that lights me up more than anything else and gives me so much joy out of doing this. So I'd appreciate it if you hit me up. Let me know what you thought of the show. Without further ado, and stop wasting time, let's get to this week's Millennial Spotlight with my guy, Petey Dandini, fellow Stonehill College alumni. Petey is an enterprise sales development rep at LeanIX. He was formerly in recruiting, a few other sales roles, and was also a fitness coach over at Orangetheory. He also, on the side, in 2021, has started the Winning by Losing project, which you can follow on Instagram, which focuses on helping to inspire others through his weight loss and his own fitness journey. Petey he's a great guy. I love talking to him. We have a great relationship, and I think there's a few tips that he brings to this conversation. One is humanizing the sales process, and the other is actually giving a shit, which is a hat tip to our friend John Barrows, good friend of the show. I think you're going to love Petey's positive attitude, his fundamental tips, and it can really help you, especially if you're starting your career as an SDR, to really, again, try to be human, try to control what you can control, give a shit, work hard, and good things will happen. And he's doing some great things with, again, some of the health and fitness. So please hit him up, Pete Dandini or Peter Dandini, I believe, on LinkedIn, Petey Dandini on Instagram, Winning by Losing project on Instagram. I think you'll really enjoy it. Again, give this podcast a shout. Without further ado, let's get straight into that conversation with my guy, Petey Dandini. Let's go. Petey Dandini.
That's me. What's up?
How we doing?
Good. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited, a little nervous, fangirling a little bit. It's something I've always wanted to do is be on the podcast, so I'm excited.
Here we go, man. I'm excited to have you on, and maybe the first interview taken from the car. So, we'll pass that for you.
Yeah.
So let's get to it, man. When folks are listening to this, it's going to be January, kicking off the year. So, what do you got? You've had a number of different jobs in the SDR world. You've had some success in the fitness world. You were in the recruiting world before this. So you got a lot of different experience. What's been working for you?
Yeah, I've been all over the place, man. I think, when I was thinking back to some of the tips that I could give here, there were two main things that I kept coming back to. And one of them is just being human. I think just being human, being yourself. And so what I mean by being human is not being someone, not trying to pretend like you're someone you're not, be yourself. And I thought back to my buddy I was helping out get a job. He's interviewing for an SDR role, and eventually I was just like, dude, just be you, because at the end of the day, if you try to obviously be prepared and whatnot, but if you try to be someone you're not, eventually that's all going to come out in the wash. You're not going to feel comfortable on the phones. You're not going to be yourself in emails. And so what I've noticed, or what I've seen success with, is just being me. I'm silly, I'm goofy, and I like to make people laugh. And then on the other hand, I really like inspiring people. So, I'll try and throw out motivational quotes wherever I can. And, I guess some tactical tips for what I mean by being human is, I'll send personalized videos, or I'll send gifts with, the turkey hat on and all my Christmas gear. And, wait till you see what I got for New Year's. Like I got some big plans. So I like people making people laugh because I think, you got to stand out. And I think that, not everyone's going to open your emails, not everyone's going to watch your videos, but, the people that do, and getting those responses where, someone says, this just made my day, or, your persistence paid off. I couldn't ignore your kindness. Like things like that make it all worth it. And so being human, because we're all human, is something that I think is very important. And then the other thing I thought about was, John Barrows. And I don't
Mm,
know if I'm allowed to swear on here, but just
yeah,
giving a shit. Like
yeah,
literally, that's it. Just give a shit of who you're talking to, who's on the other side. Like put yourself on the other end of that email or the other end of that call, right? Like when I'm trying to send, and I'm not perfect. I don't always send the best emails or have the best calls, but whenever I remind myself that it's not all about getting a meeting, it's really all about helping whoever I'm talking to and trying to put myself on the other end. Like, hey, would I open this email? Would I read this email? Do I come off like that stereotypical bad salesman? Like I'm just trying to get something from you. So those are things I think about when I'm talking to people by, actually giving a shit. So being human and actually giving a shit about the person you're talking to or trying to reach out to have been helpful starting out. But again, I got a lot to learn. I think, um, those are two things that I think are important.
and that's got to be really helpful, probably, especially being human when you're talking about working people that are in the C level, right? Like, we're both in our mid 20s, right? Pretty early in our careers. And I remember someone told me earlier this year that he is in the C suite. It's like, just talk to me like I'm a normal person,
Hmm.
like I'm a person, you're a person. I'm not above you because I have a certain title or a certain pedigree or whatever. We're all just people, right? So I feel like breaking out the playing the human card, right? If that's sending a video, if it's a GIF, if it's I know someone that's an SDR, and she's got all these kids. So sometimes if she messes something up, she'll be like, "Oh, sorry, I have like these twins like that were like burping on me, and doing this and doing that." And then people just like take meetings all the time when she says that, because I think it just kind of breaks down that third wall. So I think that's awesome. You mentioned quotes. What quotes do you have top of mind right now? I know you're good for some good quotes.
Yeah, I'm chock full of them, man. I mean, that was pretty much my whole last role as a coach. But for example, I mean, our tool, what we do is we help folks take a more collaborative approach to what they're doing, and so I'll get people who are looking for a little bit more teamwork, and just thrown out quotes, whether it's on a call with my AE, or in a follow up email, whatever it is, I'll throw out, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Mm,
Um, you know, obviously, or we've obviously it's been a tough year. Um, Getting folks who have been like, hey, this has been a tough time for us. We're really hurting right now. Just making them feel like they're not alone and saying like, hey, tough times don't last, but tough people do. So, things like that. I just try and pull some quotes that I use as a coach, and I'm just bringing them to what I'm doing now. I think I'm doing the same thing, just it's just a different vehicle to do it. I'm at the end of the day, we're inspiring people, we're helping people. I was doing it in the fitness world, and now I'm doing it in sales. So I got a ton, but
yeah.
maybe I can shoot you some.
And in the fitness world too, I think there's a huge correlation between body and mind, and how you treat your body, and if you're working out and you're eating right and that type of stuff, and how you can perform, especially in a job like sales, which I relate to being an athlete in a lot of ways. Just there's a lot of similar characteristics. So could you talk a little bit about that? Like you've gone through an amazing fitness journey yourself. I know you're still on the path, but how has that, putting an emphasis on your health, helped
Hmm.
you in from a sales context as well? If it means that performing better, or if it just means being happier and having more peace of mind.
Yeah, no, I think all of those things. It's a great point too, because this is something that I've been thinking about. Thinking about this year coming up. Um, I think that on there's two sides to it, right? You're feeling good, you're performing well, and then there's you make bad choices, or you're just not you know following through with these healthy habits, and it trickles into your work life, right? So, if I'm going out and, I have a couple 2 tree drinks and then I feel like crap the next day, like that's gonna reflect in my performance. Whether I'm an athlete or I'm in sales, my brain is gonna be foggy. I'm not gonna be as energetic. I'm gonna be tired. I'm not gonna want to do certain things. But on the other hand, if I'm taking care of my body, I'm sticking to, these healthy habits or these routines. I'm staying disciplined. I think the more you stay disciplined and you actually follow through with the things you want to do, the better you feel about yourself, and then that reflects in your performance. So I found that the more I can kind of stick to what I want to do, to some of these healthier habits, like working out, or whether that's taking time to do my own self-learning, listening to your podcast,
Yep.
or reading a book or something like that, the better I feel. I'm listening to Never Split the Difference right now, and I'm listening to. I'm like, this is literally a playbook for sales. Like, I can take these things and apply it. I think you got to, and I think it was on your podcast where I heard it. If you work hard at, it might have been Marcus. If you work hard at your job, you'll make a living. If you work harder on yourself, you'll make a fortune. And I think that's so true.
Yep.
Because if you're not doing well or you're not happy outside of work, you're not going to be as happy inside of work, and vice versa. If you're not happy at work, your life outside of work is gonna, not be the same either. So I think you gotta find that balance. You gotta be happy in both spots. Otherwise, it's gonna bleed into the other.
Another one I've been thinking about, we'll just keep going back and forth on quotes. Easy
Yep.
choices, hard life, hard choices, easy life.
Ah,
It's like
love that
discipline
one.
equals
Yep.
freedom type of thing.
Yep. Who was it, Mike, that you just had a podcast with? It's one of the things I thought about. And I said it to our members all the time when I was a coach. I was like, look, if you always do what's easy, life will be difficult. But if you do what's difficult, life will be easy. And putting in the work is difficult. Waking up early to do whatever you want to do is difficult. Sending emails is difficult. Making that extra dial is difficult. But you know, giving up is easy. Clocking out early is easy. Like, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
kind of what goes through my mind when I'm doing what I'm doing. Is if I suck it up now and I do the hard things, it'll pay off.
Yeah, totally. You know what sucks more than, you know, making a cold call or getting up early or all that stuff is, you know, having a job that you hate or not making
Hmm.
enough money that you need later in life or, not having the success that you want or, not being in good shape because you're sleeping in like all that stuff. It's like, yeah, it's not easy to do some of that stuff, but it benefits you in the long run. So
Hmm.
it's not easy, but you just need those reminders
Yeah,
sometimes.
if it were easy, everybody would do it, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, as we're wrapping up here, man, I want to be mindful of the time for you and for the listeners for this quick hitter. But I know you've got some interesting stuff going on for 2021. First of all, everyone, you got to follow this guy. Hit him up on LinkedIn, Peter
Hmm.
Dandini. But more importantly, I think hit him up on Instagram. He's got a lot of inspirational posts that he puts, stories, whether it be sales related, workout related, personal development, things like that. But I'd love to hear a little bit about if you could share some of the mission that you're on for 2021 because you're
Yeah,
taking the bull by the horns, man.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying my best over here. I appreciate that. Yeah, for those that are listening, I've actually lost over 100 pounds twice.
Whew.
So I've been all over the map. But I think back to the turning point for me this second time around was really, taking the risk or the leap of faith to put it all out there on social media, saying, hey, this is my story, this is who I am, and this is what I want to do. And ever since, I've faced ups and downs. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, but what I've realized is that being open about my goals, on one hand, it's held me accountable, and then on the other hand, I've kind of created a network of people who are there to support me, and people saying, "Hey, Petey, I really needed to hear this." And going back to what I was saying earlier, just being more human. And so what I decided to do is create an Instagram page called the Winning by Losing Project. My hope, my intention is to spread more inspiration, more positivity, because again, it's no secret that it's been a tough year, and I think more so social media has become a big highlight reel, and you see all this good stuff, right? But you don't really see what goes on behind the scenes. The struggle, the adversity, the challenges, the work, that we put in. Kind of like if you think about an iceberg, you see the top, but not really everything else underneath it.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, I'm that's what I've decided to do. Kind of humans like New York style, whatever, however people feel comfortable sharing their stories, because everyone's got a story. Everyone's got a story. We're all writing a book, and we're all inspiring in our own way. You know what I mean? And my goal is to share what people are up to. What that current chapter looks like, what they've learned along the way from some of their struggles and challenges, and what that next chapter looks like. Because realistically, you never know. Your story could be the inspiration for someone else's next chapter, and so that's what I've decided to do. The Winning by Losing project on Instagram, and a little Facebook page, and who knows where it'll go. But I know the intentions behind it, and hopefully we can inspire some people together.
I love it, man. I love it. I love the inspiration. I love spreading the positivity. There's too much negativity. There's too many naysayers out there. So you got to drown them out with positivity and inspiration. So everyone, check this guy out, Peter Dandini on LinkedIn. What is it, Petey Dandini on
Yep.
Instagram? Give me all the handles.
Yeah. Petey Dandini on Instagram is my personal page. Winning by Losing project is the new
Yep.
page we're deciding to run with, and yeah, yeah,
I
that's where
love
you
it,
can
man.
find me.
I love it. So be human and give a shit. The two tips from Petey. I appreciate you joining on. I know you're about to hit the slopes this afternoon before the holidays, so I'll let you go enjoy that.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you being in my corner throughout my journey, and you've been a big inspiration for me. So I appreciate you, and thank you for everything you've been helping me out with.
Absolutely, brother.
All right.
Thank you so much for checking out that podcast. I hope you saw value. Whether you're working out right now or doing the dishes or laying around the couch, whatever you're doing right now while you're listening to this podcast, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found some value. If you did, the only thing that you can do to really help me out is to share this podcast with a friend, share it on social media, and please subscribe wherever you're listening: Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever it is, and leave a review on Apple if that's where you're listening. That's what helps us to spread reach, helps us to get better guests like the one that you heard just now, and to give you as much value as possible. So connect with me, LinkedIn, Tom Alemo, Instagram, Twitter, Tommy Tahoe, and subscribe, leave a review, and make it a great day. Peace. Thank you so much.